Hello, this is Edna White. I am so glad you're with me today. Thank you for being here. So, I'm just going to get to the subject at hand. You know, when you always thinking you want to go it alone and you're independent and strong and you have all these things that I don't need anybody. You have these verbiages you use all the time. I'm independent, I'm strong, I got this. All those things you say, and you never ask for help. There are 9 real reasons why you always go it alone. And it's not the ones I just said. Are you the type of person who does everything by yourself, and if it's not done by you, it doesn't get done right? It leaves you exhausted, doesn't it? You never ask for help because it just seems easier somehow not to ask or just do it yourself. Then it doesn't get done, does it? Never allowing support can be a form of self-sabotage. And if you feel guilty or scared to ask for help, then there will be psychological issues behind that and why you're not dealing with it and why you should. Listen, the dangers of going it alone is independence is great. It's a positive thing. When it comes to making a living, finances, taking care of ourselves, and getting a job or a career or business with those skills, you get it done, right? But it's not so great if we are constantly applying it to all of our relationships, from work to our love lives to our families. If we insist on doing everything ourselves, we are left physically and also mentally exhausted. What's the benefits of having support? And I told you I was going to get to this, or I told you I was going to get to it. To understand why we all need help now and then, it can help remind ourselves of how it's good to have support. It's good to have resources that are there. Yes, you're probably the center of most things, but if you can't do anything and you're not an expert in that, or you're just, wishing someone would do something, but you're the reason why they're not doing anything because you're not asking and you take it on yourself. I was one of those. So let's get on a practical level because I'm pretty practical. What does asking for help mean to you? You reach your goals faster. You experience less stress and anxiety than trying to do everything alone. You don't waste time trying to figure it all out. But you don't know. Or even at what you're not good at. You have more time to do the things that matter to you. Trust me, I know. I did it for myself. I invested in myself. You see, here's my story. I never invested in coaching. Prior to that, therapy. Because I felt I could pray it away, or it would go away, or if I swept it under the rug long enough, I could live right, But I found out I needed therapy to talk through the issues and get them out of this voluptuous Coke bottle. But I found that going to therapy didn't make me less of a person. It actually enhanced who I was. And then along my coaching journey, there were things that I did not know what to do. Didn't know how to market. Didn't know what I was doing wrong. Didn't know how to be consistent. And I needed an accountability partner, but I needed somebody that knew more than me. So what did I do? I thought of it as an investment into my business. And wow, has it changed the trajectory of me? And wow, am I able to do the amazing things that I can do? And wow, I am able to pay someone to do the work that I don't want to do, that I can have more freedom and time. See, we often think that money has to do with, how we're going to be happy. But money actually, see, if you use it correctly, it actually frees you up to do the things that we're created to do. That's like being more creative, being with family members, doing things you want to do, working consistently but not too much, working smarter, not harder, if you have to work, giving yourself that accountability, giving yourself that strength, that confidence, giving yourself the freedom. So I learned that down the road. And I find that women of color and maybe women in general don't like to ask for help because they have to portray that they're smart. They have to portray they know everything. They have to portray that they're strong, super people. And we're actually not, because only the superhuman comes out when we dress up like a superwoman, Superman, whoever we want to dress up as. That's our alter ego, right? So we're not dressed like that all the time. So we can be vulnerable. We're not taught to be vulnerable. We're not taught the importance of vulnerability. Thus, a lot of our relationships, thus, our worth ethics, thus, our skills, our managerial, supervisory skills, thus, the no advancement, thus, the no income or profit in our business, because we don't ask for help. We say quickly to things that are not priority, yes, I can afford that. But when it comes to priority to raising your business, we say, or raising your mental health or your physical health, oh, I can't afford that. But yet you can afford to go to the doctor when you're not doing the things you're supposed to. Think of asking for help, getting the support, getting the coaching, getting the therapy as an investment in you. Okay? That's my little schmeal right there. Now, on an emotional and psychological level, help and support means to you to connect with others, to grow trust and intimacy, to feel supported and valuable, allow others to feel valued by you. So why is it that you're unable to ask for help? I know when I would ask for help, it would make me anxious. And anxiety comes from fear. Then it could be related to bigger problems. One, I'm going to give you. This is why you're unable to ask for help. And I want you to take your notepad and I want you to write it down and really take a look at this, okay? Really take a look. Number one, you're an overgiver. Do you simply prefer to give than receive? Perhaps a certain level you think over giving is what you're supposed to do as a good person. This comes from misguided beliefs that you have to earn love instead of deserving it just for being who you are. 2, you are codependent. Do you feel that you can't ask your partner or friend or life coach or therapist for help? If you had problems and you need help, like to say, I need you. Being codependent means you form your sense of worth around what others think. You win love by taking care of people at the high cost of hiding and never meeting your own needs. 3. You're trapped in the victim mindset. Feel you never ask for help because nobody ever helps you. You have to struggle all alone. Those are your thoughts. But you know what that is? The victim mentality. It doesn't let you ask for help. As you have to give up the poor me story and see your own personal power to making things happen. 4. You are counter dependent. Do you see asking for help as weak or foolish? Well, counterdependents are the opposite of codependence. With the mantra of I don't need people, you come across as aloof, mysterious, and hard to know. But deep down, you're lonely. 5. You have trust issues. Does everyone just let you down? Sometimes we never ask for help, as we truly should and believe we should, because we can't trust anyone. That's the agreement that you have in your brain, in your mind, in your heart. You can't trust anyone, ever. You have trust issues. 6. You have intimacy issues. Does asking for help leave you feeling trapped? If you have intimacy issues, people getting too close makes you nervous and uncomfortable. Of course it does. It involves allowing others to see your vulnerability and the real you under the front, under those masks you've constructed. 7. You have low self-esteem. You ever struggle to see how anyone would want to help you? You struggle like, why would anybody want to help me? Right? Low self-esteem. It leaves you thinking simply that you are simply not good enough to deserve someone else's time and their energy. 8. Your limiting beliefs don't let you ask for help. Do you secretly think you're supposed to suffer? Limiting beliefs. They are the hidden assumptions. And remember what my teacher used to tell me. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. We take a board as children. Then we make the mistakes of the truth that it carries to our adult life. And it starts making these choices to prove that assumption right. A limiting belief that you are a bad person or deserve to suffer means you can't ask for help, or you'd prove your own belief wrong. So you don't ask, you prove yourself the assumption in your limiting belief right, and it on and on the circle goes. Last and final, 9. Your inner critic is always stopping you from asking. Does the very idea of asking for support leave you mired in shame? So embarrassed? Some of you simply have a voice in your head that always leaves you putting yourself down or criticizing yourself. Asking for help would be weak and pathetic. That's so you say. If you were smart enough, you could do this yourself. So you say. We think that voice is right, and who we are when we are is more often than not true. It's the voice of the inner critic, the voice of the critical parent, or the critical caregiver, or the critical teacher, or the critical friend, or the critical somebody that you internalized and carried into your adulthood. See, there's a study that says in one of the universities, published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, found that self-criticism was a leading factor for relationship difficulties, particularly if it was linked to childhood emotional abuse. So relationships are bound to hurt if these 9 things are not addressed. Okay? I just want to say that to you. So you're still there thinking, why am I the type who is too independent? So independent. Why am I this super independent? I don't need anybody. Listen, we certainly weren't born into independence. As an infant, we needed our mother. And as an infant, we had to ask or cry for help. We reached out screaming for assistance. This can be probably because your parent was unavailable or unwilling to offer unconditional love and support. So what do? We learn to please others in order to receive that attention, or to be quiet and good and make few demands. Adverse childhood experiences or childhood trauma, such as neglect and sexual abuse, are also common causes. Abuse in particular can decimate a child's sense of worth and identity and leave you the very negative core beliefs. If left unhealed, neglect and trauma can lead to being an adult who feels so worthless that they even feel they are beyond help. So, that's why you act like you're independent, but really you need other people, because inside you're feeling worthless. And if you go to ask help, you feel even more worthless. So how do you get out of that? Well, you reach out to someone who can help you, like me. Or if you need some really deep root therapy, a professional can help you. I'm a professional, but in a different way. This reminds you of yourself, reminds how important yourself, how important yourself is, by paying attention to what you're experiencing and make it worth dealing with, make it worth working on, make you a priority when others couldn't or didn't. And then once you're in, life coaching, where it's developed around mindset coaching, or you're in therapy, finally experiencing what you like to be, and you're supported and you're championed, then you can get a real taste of how good it feels to ask for help and not be ashamed and have that confidence. See, a life coach works with your confidence, help you to grow your confidence and get your needs met in all areas of your life. I just wanted to share this with you today, and I hope that this helped. And if you would, just leave me some comments down below. Definitely would like to hear your feedback, your comments, your words of encouragement, something, anything. Or if you want to ask me a question, down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here. And you could have been anywhere else, but you stopped in to listen to me. I am so grateful. This is Edna White. Bye for now.